Hey guys, so I get a lot of questions on the sugaring videos and also a lot of DMs on Instagram just asking why their sugar isn't coming out right. So I felt like this would be the perfect time to kind of give you an updated video if you saw my original DIY sugar wax for beginners and also my foolproof sugar wax video. So here is an updated process. So what you need to make this recipe is water, lemon juice, and sugar. And yes, you can substitute the lemon for either lime, citric acid, or sometimes vinegar. It actually makes the mixture a lot more temperamental. So for the best results, stick to lemon or lime. And it doesn't work with just any citrus, so no oranges won't work. But yes, you can use bottled or fresh juice. The most common question that I probably get is what type of sugar. So yes, you can use brown sugar or white sugar, and you can even use powdered sugar. But today I'm gonna be using raw or turbinado sugar, also referred to sometimes as demerara sugar. Basically, as long as it comes from sugarcane, you can use it. So something like coconut sugar won't work. So these are all of the substitutes that I'm aware of currently, but if there are any additional, then I will be sure to link them in the description box below. And also I will be making a dedicated video for each type of sugar. So if you guys are interested in the differences, then I will discuss those later on. So after adding everything to a saucepan, I just give it a quick stir. This just kind of gives the lemon juice some time to dissolve a little bit of the sugar. And then before we cook this, I'm actually gonna grab a bowl of cold water. Now I added ice to mine because I knew that I would likely be coming back to it a lot later since I'm filming, but of course, since you're doing everything in sequence, you don't have to. So it is optional. So now we're gonna cook this on the stove on a medium to high heat. Now for reference, my burner goes from 1 to 7, and I put mine on a setting of 4, which is technically medium, but you do wanna keep your heat steady and not too high so that the heat doesn't spike, because that is a very important part of this process. Now you may have noticed that all of my sugar kind of settled to the bottom of the pan just in transit. So one tip I have is to give it one more mix before it starts to bubble so that everything is well combined. Now another tip that I have is to always rinse off your spoon after you've used it. As you guys can see, there are some sugar crystals left on it. So if I were to reintroduce this into the sugar that I am cooking, that means that it could potentially recrystallize my paste, and that's exactly what you don't want. So pretty soon you should notice that your sugar is starting to bubble. However, if it is overflowing like my pot is because it is so small, you guys can't tell, but this is actually a butter warmer. If at any point your sugar starts to bubble over like this one is right now, then you can feel free to remove it from the stove so that it doesn't spill over, or you can simply turn your heat down. So if you can, pick a tall saucepan because this means that you'll have enough room for your mixture to bubble and the heat to get high enough. On a low heat, I have a consistent bubble. However, we need high heat in order for the sugar to actually reach the temperature that we need it to be. Of course, the easiest way to know that is to use a thermometer, but if you guys don't have one, then this is what you're going to do instead. After your sugar has been cooking for a bit, you're going to take a spoonful of hot syrup and pour that into your bowl of cold water. What you want to happen is for the sugar to sink to the bottom immediately and clump together. You should be able to reach into that bowl and pick up the sugar with your fingers so it's firm enough to form a ball, but also soft enough for you to easily manipulate, meaning you can press it into a pancake and then easily reform it into a ball. What we're doing is rapidly cooling off the sugar, because once the sugar is no longer hot, you're able to see the true consistency. So once your sugar passed this test, you are completely done. All there's left to do is to pour your sugar into its permanent container and let it continue to cool down. This is what I call the pour and store method. This is what essentially creates a cold wax, which means you don't have to knead your sugar, because from our test results, we now know that even after our sugar cools, it's gonna stay soft. So as you allow your mixture to cool, it will start to thicken. And once it's thick enough, then you're able to pick it up in your hands and use it as a paste. Personally, I like to use my sugar at a point where it is still slightly warm so that it's a little bit melty, because this is the perfect consistency for molding it onto my skin. In my first video, I know you guys were pretty skeptical as to whether I actually had any hair on my arm, so I just wanted to show you guys the difference, that yeah, I really do have hair there, and these are my results. So that's it, guys. Of course, don't forget to check out the DIY sugar wax playlist so that you can see my original and follow-up video, as well as several videos on how to actually use the sugar on different parts of your body. I hope you like this video. If you have any questions, of course, leave them down below, but do keep in mind, if you are having any other issues, that I'm definitely coming out with way more videos to help you guys really understand why the sugar works, when it works, why it doesn't. So if you aren't already subscribed, turn on post notifications so that you don't miss when those go up, and I'll see you next week. Bye.